Toastmaster Dhanishtha is going to give her second speech from level 1, and the purpose of her speech is for the member to present a speech on any topic, receive feedback, and apply the feedback to a second speech. So, and the purpose of the speech is also for the member to demonstrate what he or she has, what feedback she has received. She has to apply the feedback on the next speech. So this project has two speeches, and she is going to give the first speech where she will be receiving the feedback. And over to Toastmaster Kanksha. Best of luck, Dhanishtha.
Thank you, Toastmaster Tanya. Toastmaster Dhanishta, among us, Toastmaster Dhanishta.
You are a soldier fighting in a battle. You have received the training that you needed. You are certified as a platinum level fighter and have the latest ammunition. But there is one catch. While you're fighting the battle, both of your legs are tied to each other. How do you think will that affect your performance? Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and my dear guests. This past week has been a very extremely tough week for me. The reason behind that is that I had to fill my MBA admission forms. For most of y'all, this would seem like a very menial task, but for me, it was just the opposite of it. And the reason why is that I had to write an SOP or a statement of purpose for each of these forms. And that's where both my legs were tied, metaphorically speaking, because I suffer from something that is called as imposter syndrome. So I just want to ask everyone, does anyone know what imposter syndrome is? Unmute and please tell. So Akansha, please tell us.
So it is like when you keep feeling like that you are the imposter and you don't deserve anything. So you just keep doubting yourself a lot and feels like you don't deserve anything. You feel like an imposter wherever you go.
Yeah, so what you're saying is pretty much true. So I'll just tell you the official meaning of it. So according to Wikipedia, imposter syndrome is a psychological pattern where one doubts their talents, their skills, or accomplishments and can live in a consistent internalized fear of being exposed as a fraud. And according to me, imposter syndrome is like that dream where you feel like you'll fall, but it's in reality, it's just your mind playing games on you. So when I was asked to write what my strengths were, it took me almost about 2 hours to come up with words like resilient or go-getter. And to be very honest, I still believe that they aren't entirely true. Throughout my life, I have been somewhat like what most Indian parents would describe as Dhingra ji ki beti or Mr. Dhingra's daughter, because I got good grades, I excelled in the extracurricular activities. My idea of fun would be to read a book or paint. I got into a good college, and even at my work I was commended for my contribution. But even so, I couldn't shake off this feeling that I was not that intelligent or talented person that others thought I was. That I was somehow pretending and working out, like pulling off my good grades and work and being pretending as a fraud in the realm of intelligent. So even during my placement season, I was not hoping for getting a job because I wanted to do MBA. But due to certain college policies, I had to sit for the interview. So on that day, what I did, not wanting to look like an idiot in front of the panelists, what I did was that I prepared all the topics that were asked to the students who went in before me. And guess what? I got the job. So now there are two ways to look at this incident. One, that I got the job by sheer luck and I didn't really deserve the job. And second, that I actually capitalized on this problem in a very smart way by by thinking on my feet. And due to those qualities, I got the job. Now I will leave it up to you to decide what my belief really is. Do you know around 70% of overachievers experience this syndrome? And according to some studies, women are more likely to experience imposter syndrome than men. But what happens to us imposters? What really does happen? It starts off with the task. Most often, it starts off with an achievement related task, like how I was given the task of writing the SOP. And that leads to panic, anxiety, and depression. Start questioning yourself, your decisions, your actions, your failures, your choices, your journey, ultimately being crippled by self loathe and pain. Imagine A mere essay of 300 words making you feel that way. With that baggage of anxiety and pain, you either opt for two options. One, you procrastinate, or you overwork yourself through the situation. But I, being the art master at the art of being an imposter, did both of them. So I procrastinated writing my SOP throughout the month. And then I overworked myself in the last week to write the best SOP this world has ever seen. No, now if you achieve the task through procrastination, you beat imposters, chalk it up to sheer luck. And if we achieve this task through overworking, we chalk it up to hard work. So it doesn't matter the approach that you take, you end up feeling incompetent nonetheless. Us imposters also have this another superpower. We have a superpower of discounting any sort of external validation or positive feedback that comes our way. So if I give you my SOP for review and you commend me on the crispness of it or the articulation or the structure, and my brain will automatically erase them and replace them with preconceived fraudulence and guilt, bringing me back to square one. Now, all of you must be wondering why. Why do I feel like an imposter? Why? What makes me feel like an imposter? Well, the reason to feeling like an imposter differs from person to person. For some, it may be depression. To others, it may be high expectations set by them or the society they live in. For me personally, imposter syndrome comes from my obsession of being perfect. Any time that I fall short of perfect, which in fact is most of the time, I start feeling like a fraud. I start feeling not incompetent at the task that is given to me. I start looking at all the things, I stop looking at all the things that I did right and look only focus on the things that I didn't. Now, coming to this discussion further, you would be thinking that I know what the problem is, I know what the cause is, I definitely know the impact is. But why am I not doing anything to solve it? Well, I'm a true imposter through and through. So I have surpassed the stage of getting the task and having a panic attack, anxiety, and depression over it. And now I'm just procrastinating my way, hoping that through sheer luck, I can work out my way through imposter syndrome. Thank you. Back to TMOD.